Hey guys, yeah, it's Off-Grid Warrior, and today I'm going to start my little winter shelter shack. I basically selected this little spot over here to do a little build, utilizing 3-4 trees over here, and basically this is just going to be a combination somewhere between a debris shelter and a shack. I'm just gonna kind of freestyle as I go along over here. Right now it's about 8 degrees. It's pretty cold. We're getting into we're getting close to snow time, so I want to get something up so when I get out here and we have snow on the ground, I have a place to get out of the snow. So I'm going to utilize these trees here. That guy there, we're going to clean that up a little bit, limb that, get it cleaned up. One over there, get that cleaned up, and try and level some of the ground over here. We see how it goes. Right on, let's do this. Right now what I'm trying to do is, even though this is a little bit sloped over here, I want to try and get it a little more level. So I'm going to take some of the soil from the top here and move it down. It's not going to be perfect. This is just a temporary long-term shelter. Temporary long-term. Bottom lip is starting to freeze. So we're going to dig this out, move it across. We'll see how it goes. Doesn't help that a lot of this ground is frozen. But what else am I going to do, right? Pick my nose. So, one of the reasons why I chose this area was the distance between the trees. These two here are the perfect distance for my hammock. The idea is, once I got this area enclosed, I'm going to use a hammock to sleep in as the bed. If that doesn't work, we'll figure out something else. But I've measured it out, and I think the hammock will be perfect right there. Man, this ground is kind of frozen. Good times. I think we're going to end up with a fairly large slope over here, but I just want to get the entrance here somewhat level before I start closing things up. Right, I've done a little bit of cleanup. What we need to do now is find a good ridge pole. We're going to be putting a ridge pole from that tree right there to this guy over here. It's going to be slightly slanted coming down, and I kind of like this idea of a shower. Could hang a shower bag here, I'll put some wooden slats on the ground here so the water can run off and down the hill here. That way, winter, I can get a shower inside my little shack. That's the idea. We'll see how it works out. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some cheap nylon cord here. I'm going to get it up on the tree and just get it up there, tie a loop in it, so when I put the weight of the log in it, it tightens down on the tree. And this is just a temporary solution, at least for me to get one side of the logs up, one of the poles, excuse me, poles logs. So we're going to hang it basically temporarily, have a look at it, make sure it's right, and then I'll firm it up with some paracord. Ideally, I'd like to do use wire. Sorry, I know I'm talking funny, that's because it's cold. I'd usually use some wire on something like this. These poles are fairly heavy, so wire would be ideal. Perhaps when I come back, I'll bring some wire and firm it up that way. So let's get going, let's get these poles up. I thought we would call in some reinforcements. I think this is a prudent idea, just to help support while I try and tie the thing. So much easier. Hey guys, it's the Off-Grid Warrior, and it is Thanksgiving Day, so happy Thanksgiving to all you guys and girls. You're probably going to see this video way after Thanksgiving, but anyways, that's what I'm doing today. This is my Thanksgiving Day. I'm out on my little getaway property, and winter has started, as you can see. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. And what I'm trying to do this weekend is get this little winter, semi-permanent winter shelter up. And that's what you see behind me over here. The idea is very basic A-frame. We're going to tighten it up with some wire and then a couple tarps. Just to get a small, easy, simple winter shelter going. Somewhere, if it's raining or snowing, I can get underneath there, start a fire, and you know, get out of the elements somewhat. Also, I want it big enough so I can string up my hammock inside and sleep in the hammock, or hammock as you guys, some of you say. So that's the mission. I won't bore you much more with chit chat. I'll just try and get some footage as I go along here. So this is not going to be completely fully detailed, but you'll be able to get a general idea of what I'm doing. Basically right now I have a simple framework up, and I've spanned two pieces of timber between two trees right here, and you can see how I braced the spans with these logs right here. This is not anything serious or meant to be long term. What I'll be doing here is I picked up some thin gauge wire, and I'll be strapping these two pieces together and pulling them tight. These two pieces of timber, or these two logs, I'll be pulling them tight so they get sucked up onto the actual trunk over here. So I'll probably place some wire there and spin it so it gets tight, and then do the same thing in the middle, and the same thing at the ends over here. That way we'll just secure these logs, get them nice and tight onto the trunks, and I may do the same thing between these two braces over here. I'll run some wire and then tighten up the wire, just kind of pulling these supports closer to the trunk, firming everything up. And then, as you can see, I'll have some main braces. Well, these aren't even really braces, they're just laying on these supports here. And I'm obviously going to have to cut them down, because over the top of this I'm going to lay a tarp, a couple tarps actually, and you know, and then on top of those tarps I'll probably throw some thinner pieces of wood on top of that, just to secure the tarp down. And you know, I'm just freestyling it today. I don't, you know, this isn't a major architectural build, as you can see. It's going to be really simple, just basically something to get me out of the elements. But you know, I'm not looking to build Fort Knox or you know, some kind of palace. So anyway, let's do this. Right, we're back. We're actually a day later since I started this, the intro of the video. Basically what happened yesterday is we had a crap load of more snow, and then it rained, and then the temperatures shot up. We went from late teens, 20s, early 20s to late 40s, and stuff started melting pretty quick. So I ended up doing a little more cutting. As you can see, I have some more braces up than I did at the beginning of the video. And then I kind of got distracted with a couple other things, but today we're going to carry on. So the plan is next steps here, I'm going to dig some holes, shallow holes, probably about, I don't know, nothing more than 12 inches at the base of these logs over here running up onto the span. So I'm going to position everything, dig slight holes, butt them into the holes, just to firm things up a little bit. Once we've got them all placed in holes and all lined up, I'll then start with the wiring of these top two braces. Like I mentioned, I'm going to tighten things up there. Once we've tightened that up, I'm going to tie these up poles over here. We're going to secure those, and then I'm going to cut the tops of these off just to length, because obviously I'll be putting, like I mentioned, a tarp over this whole build, or actually a couple tarps, and obviously I'm not going to be able to get a top over that. So we're going to cut everything to length, to height, and then we'll probably put a couple crossbars along the sides over here, and we'll go from there. So right now I'll get going with that, and take a couple vids when I'm done with that lot, and we'll take a look at it again. Alright guys, later. Right, so what I've done now is I've got a fairly straight a pole over here, which I've put alongside the inside of these downs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig the holes for these down poles now. So I'm using this pole basically as a line to get a straight line, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift the poles up, put them on this side, then I'm going to do the little dig, put them back in, and then work my way back. That's the idea. We'll see how it goes. Again, the idea here is I'm not trying to dig a 2-foot hole here to place these in. I just want them to be able to nest into a slight indentation. And that's it. I'm going to work down the line here, and I will have a look at when I'm done. So here we go, finished job. Like I say, these I've probably at the most have seen like 10-inch holes, 10-12 inches. You don't need more than that. It will take a lot for this to actually go somewhere. So at this point, I'm going to move my little pole over here for a straight line. We'll get it on the other side. These are looking fairly good to me. I'm happy with these. We'll get that pole down here, do the same on this side, and go from there. Right on. Right, so all I'm doing right now is I'm cutting some of this wire to a length I can manage with wrapping around these two braces, and pretty simple. Straighten the wire out. Didn't do this one long enough. The general idea is get it as tight as possible, and then what I like to do is go back up on itself, pull taut, and just wrap it around like this. The trick here is make sure all your ends of these wires are well tucked away. When you pull this tarp over here, I don't want to be puncturing the tarp, ripping it up, so make sure all these little points are at least at a minimum pointing downwards. And I'm probably going to put a couple more strands over here. One strand is, probably good enough, but I like to go overboard on these things, make sure it's secure. Pretty basic. So climb up my homemade ladder here. Not very secure. Whoa, I'll give you guys a close-up look of what I've done here. You can see we just wrapped around, looped around a couple times, end in the middle, and then just wrap up the tail of the wire into the middle here. And this is pretty taut, it's not going anywhere. This way these guys aren't moving. If these trees do start swaying back and forth, this should be fairly secure. And I'll do one more in the middle. Again, you know, I'm into overkill, so we'll just do another one of these in the center and go from there. Okay guys, so I've lashed all these uprights, so they're pretty firm right now, and what I need to do is get up here, and I'm going to start cutting these tops off. Don't want to make them too sharp or anything, because I'm going to be draping the top over it. So I'm not quite sure what angle I want to cut these at, but I'll see when I get up there. Try not to fall on my right, so probably don't want it too sharp. We'll see what happens. I know what the deal is with my camera, it keeps on shutting down, so if it happens again I'm going to carry on, get this job done, at least the top, before I show you what's going on. Okay guys, as you can see, a change of plans. I ended up putting a ridge pole on the top of all those, where those V's were, where the poles were crossing. So you know, I realized that a tarp wasn't going to sit nicely. It really needs a ridge pole, so that's what I got there. My bad. Hey guys, okay, so I know this video is so far been pretty shitty, and it's about to get even more shitty because yeah, I didn't get much footage of this build. I'm really sorry about that. Temperatures got a little crazy. When I started this out, we were in the late 30s, and then it dived down to a freeze, and operating the camera just became too much of a hassle. I wanted to get good footage for you guys to watch, and but it just didn't happen. You know, the camera was, like I said, turning off, gloves on, gloves off, just to operate the camera and see what's going on, climbing up, climbing down. It's just a pain in the butt. So again, I'm really sorry about the crappy video, but I'm going to show you the end result of this little adventure. Right now the temperature is about -2. It got down to -8 last night and yesterday afternoon. And just before that, temperatures shot up to the 40s, early 40s, and we had quite a bit of a melt for a few hours, and here we are back to freezing again. My hands are actually freezing right now, holding this camera. But anyways, I'm going to show you what I've done, and again, I'm really sorry about not showing you the whole build, but here we are. I kind of had to change things on the fly here as we went along, and you know, when it starts getting cold, you start spending less time trying to make it pretty or anything like that. But that was never the mission. Right now you can see what I've done. The blue tarp, not my favorite, but it was free. So I thought, I'm going to use it. Why not? It's free. I had some camo tops laying around, which I threw on top after I secured the blue one down. And as you can see, I've just thrown some tops of the trees that I cut down. Just threw them over. I do get some wind down here every now and again, not often, but that's going to help keep the tarp down. And the top is secured and tied down for the most part. Let's take a look inside. It might be a little dark inside. We'll just have to see what things look like. Nothing fancy. You can see what I've done on the bottom here. I've just laid a bunch of smaller logs. It is tied underneath and then tied up on into the inside. Yeah, I did cheat on this actually. I went and bought some 4x8s, and I've used them on the inside. It's not very pretty, but you know, it helps out a little bit. You know, I want to be able to shed the snow off the tarp. I don't want the tarp sagging and potentially breaking and tearing while I'm not here. So the boards are going to help keep that tarp up a little bit. Keep the sides nice and firm. So I'm not sure how much you guys are going to be able to see, but at the end here I've got this pellet I picked up, obviously a freebie, and I've just put it up there. I had my little EcoZoom stove up there over the couple days, and I got to say, you know, the EcoZoom has worked well for me in the past, and I wanted to get some video for you guys on that one too, but it was just so cold, and managing the EcoZoom at these temperatures, constantly feeding it, was just a pain in the ass. I didn't want to you know, be worrying about the camera. You know, it's not that winter tight in here. You can see I've got gaps all over the place, but you know, we'll firm it up when I get out here again. We'll do a little more work. Yeah, it's probably so dark in here you guys can't see. Yeah, a little bit of storage up here to keep some items. Yeah, I've got a bin over there. You probably can't see it. Picked up this plastic bin, and inside there I have a little bit of charcoal and, you know, stuff that that's not really valuable. I mean, if somebody comes in here and takes it, you know, what can I do? But there's nothing important in there, nothing expensive. Charcoal, and what else have I got in there? Some lamp oil. I picked up a little lamp. Sorry guys, it's dark in here. Picked up a little lamp, so I got some lamp oil there and just some miscellaneous items. Let's get out of here. So just give you a quick look at the back side here. Oh. Yeah, not definitely not a work of art, but you know, it's better than sitting out in the elements. And you know, thinking about this, I could have possibly built it lower. That probably would have retained, not probably, it would have retained a little more heat in there. But you know, when you get down to 0, minus temperatures, you're you know, I don't really care what you're in. You're wearing all your clothing, your warm clothing. You're staying warm whether, you know, it's a small building or large building. Sorry, my it's starting to get real cold out here, and my hands are absolutely freezing right now, and my mouth is freezing up too. So I'm ready to punch out of here. 4 days of fun, and you know, when I get back we'll tighten things up a little bit and go from there. By the way, I love this little hoodie. Pulls up like that. You can drop it down, just warm the chin up, or drop it down to your neck. One of my valuable, important items out here. Anyways, it's been fun, and I'm really sorry about the crappy video. Hope you guys forgive me for that. And when I'm out here, I'll try and get some better video. Alright on. Well, thanks for watching anyways. Take it easy.